Man, I'm very proud to say my stepson goes to his school. So under him and Principal Miss Isom, we're just super grateful for you guys and your leadership in our son's life. We see the reward every day when he comes home. So from my wife and I, we just want to say thank you to both of you guys for kingdom education. Amen. I'm really excited for this topic. We have Miss Susie Sullivan, president of Corpus Christi Right to Life, coming. Y'all make her feel welcome as she speaks on abortion today.
Thank you. Yes, I am the president of Corpus Christi Right to Life. Little bit about the organization before I start talking. Corpus Christi Right to Life has 4 main pillars. We focus on education, talks like this, but through events. We have rallies, we'll show movies, we have pro-life conferences. The second thing is we help with student pro-life groups at Del Mar, A&M Corpus, A&M Kingsville, and a couple of high schools. We actually helped all of that list start pro-life student groups. And we stay connected with them, helping them find resources with Texas Right to Life, Students for Life of America. We go to their meetings. We stay connected to make sure they're successful in continuing their student life groups growing. The third thing is we support local pregnancy resource centers, but by the way, probably a lot of you guys know that a lot of our resources here locally are very successful in and of themselves. And the fourth thing we do is we stay connected whenever there's a session. And of course, probably everyone here knows that our Texas state sessions are only every other year for 5 months. And we have a really good connection with Todd Hunter, keeping us up to date on what's going on there. And we stay connected with Texas Right to Life to know what bills are coming up, who's sponsoring what. Okay, so just wanted to give you some heads up on what Corpus Christi Right to Life does. So some background. Of course, everyone knows, most likely, that it all started mostly with Roe versus Wade, 1973, right? So that's where we're at. That's why we're here. And maybe some of you guys have also heard that there was an agenda way before that hearing. They were looking for someone. They were just looking for anyone. They were looking for a young, vulnerable girl to be their Roe. And so I wanted to talk about Norma McCorvey. It's interesting. I don't know if some of you guys know that all right, I didn't bring my glasses, sorry. 1995 is when she came out saying, yeah, I was used. I really am pro-life. And so all of these pro-life organizations, of course, were putting her out there because that's great, right? For the pro-life movement saying, hey, look, it was a sham. She was used. She's really pro-life. Here I am. And she was out there, and it was great for the movement. However, there was a documentary made on her called AKA Jane Roe right before she died in 2017, and that's when she said, not really. I'm pro-choice. I don't give a care. And by the way, the reason I was saying all that stuff is because they paid me well. I'm a great actress. So then I thought, well, maybe they're paying her for that documentary. How do we know, right? Well, the background is, yes, she had a very difficult upbringing, abuse, neglect. But anyway, just wanted to say that about her with that case. Now, also, I don't know if you guys know about the technology that was in the early 70s and maybe even before, right? Because we said they had an agenda for years. And they didn't know because sonograms were not what they were now. And we do hear, right? A lot of us hear clump of cells. We don't know. Now we have the technology. Now we have the science knowing how a baby truly grows inside the womb. So my assignment, pro versus con, right? Sean, that's my assignment. It's hard to give the pros. I'll try. So we here with the pro-life and pro-choice. Are there any pros? It's really hard to figure that out. But so the one I hear, of course, is don't judge other people. That's your, hey, it's my body, my choice, right? And, oh, you're a man, so you have no right to say anything at all. But I think one of the ones that I hear a lot, that a lot of pro-choicers will use for this argument, is it's settled law. And when they say that, they pretty much want you to just stop talking. That's it. It's settled law. Because there's Roe versus Wade, it's done. Stop talking. But you know what else was settled law at one time? Slavery. Yeah. So you can tell them that. And so what happened there? Our country was torn apart, right? We went to war on settled law. And it seems like that's what's happening now, right? It's not going away. We're still arguing. Is it really? So with this next slide about this settled law, I'd like to bring up the appointment that I'm sure a lot of you guys heard that Trump made with Amy Coney Barrett, because when she was getting questioned by Ms. Feinstein, oh boy, and if you haven't seen that, look at it on YouTube, because she was adamant trying to get her to admit that she was going to overturn it, and Amy Coney Barrett was very professional, saying, I have no agenda. But one of the other things that came up was what we were just talking about, right? Why so much contention, the whole United States? And so I don't have the exact wording, but it's the way that she answered her, saying, then why do we have all this contention? You know, just like with slavery, people are not happy that we have more education. That's why we're at where we're at. And so I want to talk about that, where we're at, and why, you know, the new information, new technology, young, exciting pro-life advocates. So many out there. I hope you know about them. I want to start with Lila Rose, beautiful young lady who started Live Action before she was 15. Let me tell you how it started. She had a school assignment, and she happened to be looking at a picture of an aborted fetus. Obviously, it changed her life. And she thought, what the heck is this? Look where she's at now. So she started Live Action. When between 15 and 18, she got a whole bunch of her friends together, and they gave pro-life talks, kind of like what we're doing here. But when she turned 18 and she was at UCLA, she disguised herself, went into Planned Parenthood. She went into several Planned Parenthood clinics. But she disguised herself as a 15-year-old, and she told them that she was pregnant by a 23-year-old man. They told her, just say you're 16, because then I won't have to file a police report. And so she had a lot of these conversations recorded secretly, tons of them, going to all these different Planned Parenthoods, admitting, hey, can you tell the race of my baby? You can help me, right, if I don't want that? Sure. Yeah, all this is recorded. Live Action is still active today. One of my favorite things about Live Action, if you see them on social media, you can see video after video after video after video. What they do is they go out on the streets. They just walk around wherever, anywhere, and they'll show you a video of a person watching a video. First, they ask them, are you pro-choice or pro-life? Of course, they continue after they admit, it's not my business if a woman wants to do whatever they want to do. And then so you see this person with like an iPad or a screen, and they're watching this video, and you see the look on their face as they're watching the video, because what they show them is a dismemberment abortion. And they just very practically, black and white, show this person who said, yeah, it's not up to me, right? It's fine with me, doesn't bother me any. And they show when they rip off an arm, and then they rip off the second arm, and they rip off a leg, and then they rip off another leg, etc. Torso, squashing of the head, making sure that they get everything. And it's funny because the reaction is usually what I just did. And these people have trouble talking afterwards. And they said, I didn't know. I didn't know. And they say, no, no, I don't agree with that. That's not right. That should never happen. And immediately after seeing that video, they say, and they asked them, they said, have you changed your mind? They said, yes, I have. I'm pro-life. That should never happen. Adoption, anything. That is just one organization so far, Live Action. Another one I want to talk about, Abby Johnson. If any of you guys have heard of her, that's another movie that the Corpus Christi Right to Life sold out 4 theaters at Century 16 whenever we were able to show it before it was released. And so Abby Johnson was a director at Planned Parenthood, and she was blowing and going, making all her quotas. She joined because she wanted to be a counselor, but then she found out their true story. She saw the baby move away, jerk away from the tool. That's when her life changed. Now she has a book, she has a movie, Unplanned. She started an organization called And Then There Were None. So she helps abortion workers get out of the industry. Another one, David DeLyland, if you heard of the Center for Medical Progress, he also secretly videoed whenever Planned Parenthood was making lots of money selling baby body parts. But getting to Planned Parenthood, just want to make sure, I guess, I'm assuming a lot of you guys know, but one of Planned Parenthood's major founders is Margaret Sanger. And I have some pictures, I think it was the next slide, because she was really good friends with KKK, and she loved that birth control would lead to a cleaner race. So if you look at the next slide, where there's some mapping out of where Planned Parenthoods are, and you can see at the protectingblacklife.org that these are strategically placed in walking distance in majority Black and Hispanic neighborhoods. Again, Margaret Sanger was a fan of eugenics. So I have been signaled that my time is up, but I do want to say that, I'm assuming my audience, the last slide, what I really want to leave you with is, whenever I give talks like this and I feel like, if the last slide can be shown, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, and hopefully, or maybe you've learned some stuff, but if we are not talking to people who don't know this, who are like those people that saw that video initially, then we're not really doing anything for the pro-life movement. So please think about that. I know sometimes it can be difficult when you're at work or any other situation when you're not at church, and we all have other circles, right? And sometimes those conversations are different. Sometimes we stay in our comfort zone, right? And we love to come, hey, when I'm here at Journey Church and I can talk about, oh, I'm pro-life. But you can be in another circle, you can be in another arena, and you're not sure, so you don't say anything. Do it. Show those videos. Be an advocate and help save lives. And I'm going to do a plug like Carrie did. If you want to volunteer with anything that we have with Corpus Christi Right to Life, doing our pro-life conferences, helping with our student groups, come see me. Thank you.